Now, I recently just got back from the Great American Outdoor Show, and while I was over there, I got my hands on a gun that I could not wait to get in to do a review on. Well, that gun is here, and that's what's inside this box, so let's check it out. On the other bench, and we're going to get this out of the box. We're going to go over all the specs. We're going to go over all the features. Now, if you stay tuned till the end of the video, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a brand new optic that just came in that's going to go on this gun. Now, I got a couple things I want to get out of the way real quick. EAA did send this out to the channel for a review, and I also want to give a big shout out to Pursuit Armory. They are a local gun store right here in my hometown, and they are handling all the FFL transfers for the channel. Now, I've reviewed quite a few of the Girsan products on this channel, and the majority of all these guns come in one of these blue hard cases. They're actually a pretty nice case. They've got their company logo here on the top of the box. We'll go ahead and flip this around, and I'm going to show you here. You do have a tab here and a tab here. You're going to slide these to the outside, and that's going to open up the box. And if you look right here, you do have a place to put a lock, and you also have that on this side. Now, when you open the box, this is what you are presented with. Now, if we start up here at the top, we do have an extra mag. Now, we're going to dive into the mags later on in the video, but one thing that I do want to bring up is normally when you get any gun in from EAA, especially a Girsan product, it only comes with one mag. And I was looking on the website, and I think they only ship with one mag. Now, I'm guessing I got a second mag due to the fact they sent this out for me to do a review on, so that's just something I want you to keep in mind. Now, if we move down here, this does come with a cleaning brush, and then we have our lock. Now, when we move down to the bottom, we do have an owner's manual, and this is just kind of a generic manual. It covers all of their different Witness2311 guns. Now, it is just a black and white user manual, but it's pretty detailed, and it does tell you how to disassemble the gun, and your cleaning and maintenance routines. Everything is in your user manual. Then we have a card from Girsan Arms. It's got a QR code you can scan, and they do a lot of custom work for EAA. And then we have our gun. But before we get into that, there is a very small Allen wrench right here. Don't lose this because you're going to need this to tear the gun down. And the last thing we have is our gun. This is the EAA Girsan Witness2311 CMX. And this gun does have the second mag in it. And yes, this gun is clear. No mag, nothing in the chamber. And that is everything in the box. Alright, like I said at the beginning of the video, I got my hands on this gun for the first time at the Great American Outdoor Show, and I was hoping they were going to send one of these out for a review, because when I got this gun in my hand, I really liked it. Now, if you know anything about the Witness2311s, there are a lot of changes on this gun versus the old model. And a lot of those changes are the grip module on this. So here is the Match X. I did a review on this a little over a year ago, and as you can see, this has a completely different grip module on it. And the Match X also has a grip safety. Now, one of my biggest complaints with the original grip, like you see here on the Match X, was it's not the most comfortable grip, and it's not the most aesthetically pleasing grip, and I really hate grip safeties. Now I know mostly all 1911s and double stack 1911s have it, but I'm just not a real big fan of it. Well, if we look at the CMX, they've completely changed that. This grip feels amazing in your hand. This has got a really nice texture on it. It goes all the way from the bottom clear to the top. They put that exact same stippling here on the front. And then on the back here, we have more of that checkering that we're used to seeing on an aluminum frame. But this gun feels so much better in your hand than their original Witness 2311s. And if you look here on the back, one of the greatest things that they did with this gun is they eliminated the grip safety. It's gone. And I'm glad to see that it's gone. Now the next thing I want to cover is there are two different versions of this pistol. This is the CMX, and they also make a CM XX. And I will tag the interview I did with Keith over at the Great American Outdoor Show, and you can go and check that video out and see what the XX looks like. But basically the CMX is the non-ported version, where with the XX, it's going to have the integrated comp on the barrel, just like this Match X. So if you want a ported version of this gun, you're in luck, they have one. So let's get some quick specs out of the way. This gun has an overall length of 8 inches, it's 5.13 inches tall, and it has a width of 1.35 inches. Now the slide on this is made out of carbon steel alloy, and it does have a matte black Cerakote finish. Now being that this is a commander style pistol, this has a barrel length of 4.13 inches, and it has the same Cerakote finish on it as the slide. Now the bore on this barrel is button rifled. It has 6-groove landing groove rifling, and the twist rate is a 1 in 16 twist. And this barrel is belled at the muzzle, and it is fitted to the slide without a barrel bushing. Now the frame on the CMX is an aluminum frame with a polymer grip module. Now I'm going to bring a picture up on the screen and show you what this gun looks like stripped down. But this does have a full-length steel guide rod with a reverse recoil spring plug. And one thing I forgot to mention, the aluminum they use on this frame is aircraft grade aluminum and has the exact same Cerakote finish as the slide and the barrel. So we're going to start here at the top and just work our way down and go over all the features on this gun. So we'll start off with the sights. Now up here in the front, you just have a white dot sight. And if we move here to the back, we have a 2 white dot rear sight. Now this slide is optics cut. You're going to remove this screw here and take the cover plate off. But you're also going to lose the rear sight when you do that. But this slide is milled to where you can direct mount any dot with the RMSC footprint. One other pointer I'm going to give you, when you go to remove this plate, be careful. There is a spring in here because this does have a locking firing pin block. So you do not want to lose that spring. Now we move down here on the slide and we do have some lightning cuts. You've got 3 here and 3 on this side. And you've also got some really nice serrations here. They're pretty grippy. You can grab this and rack your gun from the front. And if we move to the back of the slide, we've got some nice serrations here. You have those obviously on both sides. So this gives you another nice spot to grip the gun and rack the slide. Now we move here to the back and you've got a really nice skeletonized hammer and you've got a really nice beaver tail here on the back, so you're not going to have to worry about getting hammer bite. Now we move down here and we've got a really nice ambi safety on here. Very smooth. Very easy to manipulate that. I like it. Now we move over to this side and right here is your takedown lever. Pretty much just a standard takedown lever like you see on any other 1911 or double stack 1911. But they did put some really nice checkering here on the top of it. Nice little added touch. Now we move out here to the front and we do have a full-length dust cover and a full-length rail. And we've got quite a bit of real estate here. In fact, I think even my big Surefire X300 will probably fit nicely on this gun. And when we take it out to the range for the first shots in the next video, I will have a light on this. Now, we've already gone over the grip, how nice this grip is, and how good this gun feels in my hand. But over here, you do have a round mag release. And another nice little detail they did here, this has got some really nice serrations right here on the mag release. Now we'll move down to the trigger and the trigger guard on this. Now, the trigger guard is not very big. This may pose some problems if you're trying to shoot this gun with gloves on. Now, you do have a slight undercut right here. And again, this just feels really good. I'm not getting any pressure here on my finger. Really nice design here on the trigger guard and the grip module. Now we move to the front of the trigger guard, and we've actually got the same stippling here as we do on the grip. So if you are one of those shooters that puts your finger right here, you do have some really nice texture there. Now the trigger on this is an aluminum trigger, and it's got some really nice serrations here on the front. It actually feels pretty good. Now, EAA says this trigger is between 4 and 4.5 pounds. We are going to test that with a trigger pull gauge. But I want to show you the take-up. Very little take-up. It's pretty smooth. I'm not really getting any grit there. And you get a really nice, clean break. And the reset, very short, tactile and audible. And you get a nice, clean break. Now, I will say this, these Witness 2311s are not known to have the greatest 1911 triggers, but let's face it, a 1911 trigger is pretty much better than any other trigger. All right, I got my Wheeler trigger pull scale. Let's get a trigger pull on this and see where we're breaking at. All right, that one broke right at 5.5 pounds. Let's do one more. And again, we broke right at 5.5 pounds. Now, I will say this. It doesn't really feel like a 5.5 pound trigger. I think it does feel more like that 4.5 pounds they're talking about. But normally the trigger pull scale doesn't lie. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Out of all the EAA 1911s and double stack 1911s I have, the trigger pull is always a little heavier than what they state on the website. Now, keep in mind, we have 0 rounds through this gun yet, so it may lighten up a little bit. And the last thing here on this gun is the magwell. This has got a really nice, big, oversized magwell on it. You've got your pin right here that holds it to the frame, but I really like that magwell. It feels really good. Now, when it comes to the mags, like I said, you may get 1 mag or maybe 2, but I'm thinking it's probably only going to ship with 1. But these magazines are 17-round mags, and they are made by Checkmate. And I am a big fan of Checkmate magazines. My Match X came with these. My T-Saws Night Stalker came with these. I've never had any issues with Checkmate magazines. And they are very easy to take down and clean. You've got your little push button right here. Push that in. Remove the base pad. Take out your spring and your follower. And that's how you do cleaning and maintenance on these. Alright, well that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover here in the unboxing. I'm going to go ahead and get this plate off and get the new optic installed. And I'll bring it back and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, there it is, and it's all ready to head to the range for the first shots. Now I couldn't resist, I had to put the Surefire X300 on here just to see what it looks like, and I must say, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Now in the next video, when we go to the range for the first shots video, I'll also bring the Streamlined TLR1 HL and show you what it looks like on here, and I'll bring the Olight PLX. Because there's going to be people out there that aren't going to like the light hanging out in front of the gun. So I'll bring a couple different ones and we can see what they all look like. Now, as far as the optic goes, this is the brand new Zolisi Z1 XL. And there's not too many companies doing this, but the base on this is for the RMSC footprint, but it's got a bigger competition style window on it like you would see on some RMR optics. In fact, this is only the second optic I've got into the channel with this design. The very first one I did a review on was the Gideon Optics Judge XL, which is an awesome optic, and it looks like this one's going to be very good as well. So keep an eye out. I will have a full review coming out on this optic shortly after this video and the first shots video. Well, that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. I was super excited to get this pistol in, and I was super excited to share it with you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.